like Relief USA.
I wanted to be out here to help others who may be in need, who may not be able to afford to eat when they break their fast.
The boxes provide enough staples to feed a family of 5 for a month during the holy season when Muslims fast from sunrise to sunset. Entergy Mississippi says power is finally restored to all customers after nearly 3 weeks of outages that left more than 87,000 people in the dark. Over 2,000 line workers from across the country helped rebuild the grid. And Public Enemy is reimagining their classic He Got Game with a new women's empowerment anthem titled She Got Game, featuring Flau'jae, Redna MC, and Cindy Blackman Santana. Proceeds benefit the Women's Sports Foundation and the Black Music Action Coalition's Female Fund. Get BIN News now, on demand, 24/7, on the iHeartRadio app.
Watch us on Facebook Live. Then hear us on WBOK1230.com.
Yo, turn it up. It's Gerod on the air, spitting truth in the booth. We ain't going nowhere. New Orleans City got us hard in the beat, but corruption creeping in, gotta take back the street. But corruption creeping in, gotta take back the street. From the French Quarter vibes to the Ninth Ward grind, he's the voice of the people, yo, he's one of a kind. Talking about the struggle, the hustle, the pain, but with each word he drops, he's bringing power to the game. Gerard on the radio, calling out the lies, bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. Try to silence the truth, but he's loud and clear. From the bayou to the block, everyone can hear. Got the people united, it's a movement, no doubt. With his mic in hand, he's breaking all the clout. City eat the official scheming, yeah, they playing it slick. But Gerard's on the line and he's ready to kick. For the schools and the streets, he's fighting the fight. With a heart full of passion, he's igniting the night. Gerard on the radio, calling out the lies, bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. From the jazz in the streets to the gumbo pot, he's the pulse of the city, giving all he's got. Together we rise, united we stand. With Gerard on the radio, we're taking back our land. So tune in, y'all, let the truth resonate. With Gerard on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. In the streets to the gumbo pot, he's the pulse of the city, giving all he's got. Together we rise, united we stand. With Gerard on the radio, we're taking back our land. So tune in, y'all, let the truth resonate. With Gerard on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. Gerard on the radio, calling out the lies, bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. Yeah, tuning out, let the truth resonate. With Gerard on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. Gerard on the radio, calling out the lies, bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul.
Yeah!
Yeah! Let the truth resonate. With Gerard on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. What's going on, good people? That hyped everybody up. Even Wiggins over there clapping his hands. Captain Clap.
I was clapping at you.
Captain Clap over there.
Now, that's you,
indeed.
Captain Clap.
But guess what? She's back.
I'm back.
She never
I'm
left.
Back.
Huh?
She never left.
Oh, yeah, she walked out when I walked
Oh,
out
I
yesterday.
left out for a minute. Then I came back.
There you go. There it is. Welcome to the show, everybody. Gerard Stevens with you, of course, co-host extraordinaire. The attorney is in the building, Suzette Bagnaris. And been a busy day today, but, you know, we here. We here to make it happen. We here to make it happen. How's your Mardi Gras? Because you Mardi Gras.
Actually, I haven't done a lot of Mardi Gras
Not
this
a
year.
lot, but
I
you
haven't
Mardi
done
Gras.
a lot of parades. I have done a few balls, but now it's in crunch time. Now, I'll start running. I have Zulu Ball Friday, and then Saturday we have parades and going to Namtok, going to Endymion, going to the Tramps party that night, the Zulu Tramps. Sunday we pick up with the parades again. Monday we're doing Lundi Gras out on the riverfront. And Tuesday, we're hosting Ghetto Gallia Hall there on Jackson Avenue.
We telling everybody that if y'all really want to see a part right there at 1929 Jackson Avenue, it's gonna be putting down some vibes. It's gonna be all that plus a bag of dips and chips. We gonna have the party right there on Jackson Avenue. So as everybody rolling, we're probably gonna be streaming it too.
And get your line dancers ready.
Yeah.
Because we will be out there line dancing.
Yeah.
We're going to have our boots on the ground and all that.
Ugh.
Bring your fans.
That song, I like Cowgirl Hayride.
Oh,
Yeah,
I like that too.
more.
We're going to do that too.
I like that more.
We're going to do that too.
Flexing off them, but boots on the ground, you can leave.
We're going to flex. We're going to do all of that. So
And look,
come on out.
I've been riding for the last couple of years. I ain't riding this year. I'm not gonna ride in Zulu this year.
Because we were having too much fun, and he was missing it.
And I walked
So
right
now
by
he's
him
coming.
last year, and I was in the truck.
Boot it up.
Booted. Booted and tooted. I said, look at
Boot
them.
up and shut up.
And they were on the balcony talking about some, hey.
Good thing I wasn't there because I would have been throwing stuff at you.
He just didn't get it in earlier today. That's all that is.
Okay.
I would have had one of those flashbacks and start throwing cups at you.
Yeah, he just didn't get it in earlier. And so back in the day, when all of us were together, they used to be on the stage over underneath the bridge, and we used to be on the boom box from Q93, the great big old boom box, and riding by the stage, FM 98 throw cups at us, and we throw them back at them because we had boxes and boxes. Of
It
cups.
was a war.
It looked like a war out there. So that's what he's talking about. So.
Yes, indeed.
But anyway, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun. I know this week starts off the real week of, I don't want to say the real week of Mardi Gras because a lot of folks have been out there having some fun. But I know that I'm looking forward for Tuesday.
You see that post, huh?
No,
You don't see that post that Brandon made?
ain't no telling.
He's getting you targeted, homie.
They got what?
He's making you a target.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely making him a target.
Um,
Well, I'm going to make sure not to stand next to him then, Brandon. If that's the play, I'm going to not
said if
stand
you-
next to him.
If you see me throw things at me, yes indeed. Throw me something, mister. Throw it at me. That's cool. That's cool. They do
don't
that
know.
anyway.
I don't know. You're packing.
Huh?
You don't know that you're packing.
No, they don't.
Well, they
really
do
don't.
now, but
Well, they do now.
They really don't. And I'm pretty good.
yeah, you're a sharp target.
I am pretty good though. I just want everybody
Pretty
to
good.
understand. I don't play. But I do have my own little surprises. I'm even getting into the mood this year that I'm gonna probably put on my my outfit, my Mardi Gras outfit.
Oh, Lord.
That's too easy. I'm leaving that one alone.
I don't even know
No,
what
no,
that's
no,
gonna
I'm
be.
leaving it alone. That's too
I have
easy.
a
I
Mardi
don't
Gras
even know what
outfit.
that looks
I'm leaving
like.
it alone.
And I'm
It's too
probably
easy.
gonna wear it
No.
this year.
Okay, boy, I'm going to have to be ready. I'm going to have my camera ready because I don't know what that's going to look like.
It's gonna look pretty cool.
Okay, all right. We're going to see.
You know, I can't come half stepping.
We're going to see
I
and
know
they'll see
where
because I
am.
will post it on my social media so they can see
I know
it.
where I am. So and listen, DJ Susie B gonna be on the turntable.
That's right.
And
That's
speaking
right.
of DJs, have we heard about who they're having at Gallia Hall?
Oh, there are 300 people.
I don't
to
know who
apply.
they having at Gallia Hall, but I know, we're going to have it going down a little bit more. right there on Jackson Avenue.
They had 300 people.
We won't be playing YMCA
That's
on
what I was about
Jackson
to say. I
Avenue.
know you guys aren't going to follow a playlist.
No, we will not be playing YMCA.
I can tell you one song she's gonna be playing. She
What
was
is that?
thinking with.
And what song is that, my brother?
Oh, you don't want to play that. You don't want
You
to
don't
play
want to
that.
play that.
No.
You don't want to play it. Don't even look for it. Don't even.
Oh, what
look
song
for
is it? I didn't hear.
I know we can't tell you on
We
that.
have
I
a
just
lot
tell you.
to talk about today. We're gonna transition. You know, we have a lot of things to talk about. You know, just as a backdrop for all the things we're gonna talk about today. You know, it can be overwhelming. And I've been having a lot of conversations with my girls as of late, my younger two in particular, who are now, you know, beginning new careers and having babies and getting married and, you know, looking toward the future and what the future looks like. And they're very concerned about, you know, having children in this climate that we're living in America.
Mhm.
And so I've gotten into a conversation with them where I'm telling them, you know, you got to build things even when it feels uncomfortable, even when the conditions seem unfavorable. And I was using the analogy with them that I know like a construction worker may not want to start pouring concrete when it's raining because that's an unfavorable decision. But sometimes we as Black people need to continue to build lives in unfavorable conditions. When it's easy to build when it's safe, when there's stability, when there's no warfare, when there's no economic, political, or emotional strife, when life feels predictable. But when conditions are favorable, you know, we tend to take more risk. We start families, we launch businesses, we tend to dream bigger. And historically, you know, that's not wrong. Look at the baby boom generation. People talk about it like it was just all optimism, but it came off the heels of the Great Depression and World War II. After years of scarcity and loss and instability, manufacturing exploded and jobs stabilized and home ownership expanded. Suddenly building a family felt possible again because the conditions became favorable. But let's bring that forward to today. We came through a global pandemic. We all survived, you know, we survived. We came through economic instability, industry shutdowns, labor strikes, political polarization like I haven't lived in before, social tension, you know, fear about the future of the country. And, you know, we have to, though, remind ourselves just how resilient we are as a people. You know, if we didn't build in unfavorable conditions, there never would have been a Black Wall Street. There never would have been a civil rights movement. There never would be historically Black colleges and universities. There wouldn't have been Black wealth built during Jim Crow. And there would be no community institutions, you know, that were not born out of struggle. So I just want to remind people that we built churches, we built schools, we built businesses, we built wealth.
We built America.
We built America in unfavorable conditions, and we'll continue to do that. You know, I know today we're going to be talking about a lot of unfavorable conditions in America, but I just wanted to start off with something positive in that you got to build it anyway.
Some things you're right. Absolutely. You got to build it anyway. And I really feel that when we start talking about our own culture, we have, I think, the drive, the ambition, and even the smarts that if you don't know, you want to find out. If you give up on those dreams and those ambitions, then you're just going to end up being complacent. And building your ambition, building your dreams. I mean, you know, who are we to be dream killers? You know, those things, I think, take people down when we become Debbie Downer or we become, you know, dream killers.
And, you know, I'm not just, you know, preaching to the choir here or espousing something I'm not doing myself. You know, in the midst of all the turmoil going on in America right now, I'm trying to build a new business model. Emil and I are building a new cigar bar over on the West Bank, you know, with our partners, Ken and Renee Ozine. And, you know, we intend to open in April. And everybody's saying, man, you're opening a business right now with all this instability in the country. And, you know, I just have to say, I'm building anyway. I'm not going to be discouraged by what's going on around me. If black people could build before in times of strife,
But
I can build now too.
It goes back to, I think, something that Martin Luther King said. And who am I to repeat the words of Martin Luther King? But I know that when they were telling us, sit back, wait a minute, and so, well, when is my time? Why should I sit back? And of course, the famous line of, if not now, when?
When, right. So, I'm asking our listeners today, are you delaying a life decision right now because the world feels unstable? Or are you building anyway? Did your parents or grandparents build something when conditions were unfavorable, but yet they still overcame? And if you're under 40, do you feel like this is a safe time for you to build a life? Or are you feeling kind of paralyzed by everything that's going on around you?
I think it's interesting. I forgot to tell you about this earlier today, but I had an old buddy of mine that works in radio. He in corporate radio. He's not just doing a radio station. He's in corporate radio. And a lot of the radio stations now are trying to change the way that they do business. And looking at some of the models that they're going after, one of the models was one of the ones that I tried to perfect. And they actually had a big meeting on that model. And he had a lot of questions about how I did the model and how you put that together and how you did all this. And I was like sitting there going, yeah, well, you got to. And I thought about it. I said, that's called consultant. That's called check. Don't call me for my ideas and tell me what you need from me so that you can take them and do it yourself and take credit for something that I know it works because it worked for me for years.
I'm guilty of that too.
Yep.
For years, people have told me you ought to be coaching young lawyers. You ought to be coaching young business, people who want to start businesses, young entrepreneurs, that kind of thing. Why are you speaking for free everywhere? You could be paid to do speaking engagements, that kind of thing. I guess for me, I live from a leader-servant model, a servant-leader model, I guess you want to say, where I feel like I do these things because I'm giving back, because I've been so blessed, I'm giving back. I mean, hell, I'm here on the radio right now, free, volunteering, because this is a way I give back. But I understand what you're saying. I think as African Americans sometimes, and as women, we tend to undervalue our own worth and our own services and not monetize things that are of value. Your experience, your wisdom, for you in radio, in marketing has value. You built radio stations before that became extremely successful. You've handled political campaigns before that were extremely successful. And there is value in that. And we tend to give away our services. And one of the things I told myself this year, moving into this new year, was, as a matter of fact, it's on my vision board at the office. No favors, no freebies. But here I am, still doing it. I look at it.
Yeah, you meant that then.
I did. I mean, I have a giving spirit. So do you. And people sometimes take advantage of that.
Sometimes.
All the time.
Okay. Okay.
Taking advantage of that. But I think that I just wanted to start off the segment today with something very positive, because the world is really heavy right now. Like, you can get on social media for a few minutes and feel just so overwhelmed by how people are being treated. And you can end up in a state of paralysis where you don't know what you want to do next. You don't know if you can do anything next. But, I just want to say, as a culture, as a people, we build anyway. We love anyway. We create anyway. We invest anyway. We have families anyway. We dream anyway. We have to push through it because we've always been on the downside in this American experiment.
The heaviness, though, the heaviness of what's happening in the world today actually comes from the top down. We see how the top acts, and I think what we end up with are those that want to act like him, that do the same thing as him, that say something that's going to be shock and awe, or try to put themselves in a position of derogatory language.
Well, I definitely saw that this week with Louisiana residents commenting on WWL and WDSU and all these other stations about Bad Bunny
Right.
and Bad Bunny's performance. The amount of hate that was posted on social media in response to Bad Bunny performing in Spanish at the Super Bowl, and people from Louisiana and all over the country, but complaining about it.
Well, let me put something in perspective, and I know this is going to set the phones off, but I want to put this in perspective. I was sitting there looking at my social media and looking at all the black folks that had the hate for Bad Bunny, how bad it was, saying that, oh, he should have never done this. They should have never put him on the halftime show. This sucks. I was looking at the black folks. And I was thinking to myself, if you go back for the last 4 to 5 years, imagine how we felt when Rihanna did it, when Kendrick Lamar was there, who else was there? Shakira, she was there. All these folks that we had listened to, that we loved, and the other folks were in there tearing them down.
Oh, they tore Kendrick Lamar down last year. They said they didn't understand his show.
Didn't understand what he was saying.
And they're saying the same thing about Bad Bunny.
But black folks are saying it this year.
Well, I'm going to say this in plain English. If you are mad that an artist performed in his native language, then I need you to be consistent with that energy. Because I better not catch you dancing to Nola Bounce music. I better not catch you two-stepping to Zydeco or singing Cajun French lyrics you don't understand at the next parish festival. Let's go a little further. You walk into a Mexican restaurant every week, you order off the menu, you can't pronounce the food, you eat the chips, you eat the queso, like it's oxygen. And then you don't know what half the music is playing in there while you're sitting there eating. So simmer down. It's time to stop this hate based upon not understanding another culture.
The thing is, his show was exactly like Kendrick Lamar's. Kendrick Lamar did his from the hood. Bad Bunny did his from the barrio. Same exact thing. If you have to understand what he was saying. I understood a little bit because I understand some Spanish, but he gave the exact same message, but in a different form. You didn't have to understand it. You just had to see the visuals.
American.
And you could understand what he was doing with the visuals. He was taking shots at Trump. He talked about that hurricane, about them throwing the paper towel. He talked about all that.
Exactly.
And you couldn't see that?
Exactly.
You're just mad because you couldn't understand what he was saying.
You can see the power grid. That's why he climbed the power pole.
Yes.
It was a political message.
Big time.
And I think it was a very timely message, given everything going on with this country with ICE.
When he gave the little boy the Grammy.
Yes.
Absolutely.
The little boy was not him, but it was a little portrayal.
The boy that was taken by ICE.
Yep.
Yes. Culture is not something you get to enjoy only when it entertains you or it's somebody who looks like you, and then reject it when it centers upon another ethnic group.
Yes.
You don't get to wear sombreros on Cinco de Mayo, take tequila shots, post Viva La Cultura captions, and then complain when Latino culture shows up on the biggest stage in America. And then for them to say, oh, well, that halftime show wasn't American, you clearly don't know where Puerto Rico is.
Puerto Rico's part of America. In fact, he named off all the places of America that are not exactly on this land, but are part of us.
They are on the American continent.
And then for people in New Orleans or people in Louisiana to have a bad attitude about it,
it took
Louisiana is one of the most culturally blended places in the country.
Yep.
We celebrate African rhythm. We celebrate French language, Caribbean influence, Spanish colonial history, native traditions, Creole culture, and Cajun culture. New Orleans culture exists because these cultures mixed, not because they stayed separate. So let me say this carefully. When you are hating Bad Bunny, you are hating yourself.
Yep, because a lot of us are Spanish Creole.
Absolutely.
I'm one of them.
Absolutely. So don't get swept up into the moment hating somebody else because they are truly a reflection of you. If you're from this part of town, if you're from this part of the country, America is multilingual. America is multicultural. America always has been. And Louisiana, of all places, should understand that.
I just want to put in my little 2 cents of everybody. I'm not talking to one culture. I'm talking to everybody. There is no such thing, not here, of anybody being purebred white.
No.
Or purebred black.
No, absolutely not.
Because I'm just saying, because at the plantation, they was all dibbling and dabbling. As a matter of fact, if you go through the history of New Orleans, that little area of town that we like called the French Quarter over there on the other side of the tracks, that was when the plantation bosses, the owners, would end up taking their concubines and putting them over there because the plantation owner wives were mad that that little black woman had that little baby for the plantation master.
So they concubines now?
So that's what they were. That's what they were called.
Back then.
And look, I don't want to give the NFL too much credit for being politically correct. The NFL saw dollars and cents. The NFL wants Latino growth. About 62 million Latinos live in the United States. That's 19% of the population. About 31 million are already NFL fans. So the league has seen a possibility for mathematical growth by trying to speak to the Latin population. There are 39 million Latino NFL fans in the U.S. So, they saw an opportunity for capitalism. Apple saw an opportunity for capitalism. They wanted to promote their earbuds that translate languages. And, Bad Bunny, like him or not, was the most globally streamed artist on Spotify in 2025.
Ever. He actually got more views, not Spotify, but more views than Michael Jackson.
I used to get requests at gigs for Bad Bunny.
Nah, they were talking about you, though. Here comes Peter Cottontail. That was your Bad Bunny. All right, more coming
Your head
up,
is
folks.
a cottontail.
That's right. It's party time each and every Sunday night at 7 p.m. on WBOK. It's the Throwback Throwdown with DJ Wick as he brings you the best in old school from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2Ks. Plus, the party goes to another level at 9 p.m. with the Throwback Throwdown Party Mix to round out the night. It's the Throwback Throwdown Sunday nights at 7 p.m. on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
Experience 2 nights of genre-blending music with the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation's Jazz and Heritage Concert Series, presented by Goldfarb Financial, happening at the George and Joyce Wynn Jazz and Heritage Center in New Orleans. See jazz vocalist Ingrid Lucia and the Good Troublemakers on Friday, January 16th at 8 p.m. Then, on Saturday, the 17th at 8 p.m., catch pianist-composer Lawrence Seabrist, Estrella Banda, with special guests Tommy Lowry and Bart Plateau. Expect a thrilling mix of jazz, classical, Afro-Cuban funk, and more. Tickets are $10 and available at jazzandheritage.org.
Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and Louisiana's Julia Letlow. What do they have in common? Liberal Julia Letlow voted with Joe Biden more than any other Louisiana Republican in the U.S. House. And just like Nancy Pelosi, Letlow has traded hundreds of stocks while serving in Congress. Worse, Letlow violated federal insider trading laws by failing to report her shady stock trades, potentially millions of dollars worth. But that's not all. Before she went to Congress, liberal Julia Letlow was a university bureaucrat. She instituted radical DEI policies, woke sensitivity training, and the university put up a public art display honoring defund the police activists. Is that what Louisiana wants in the U.S. Senate? Conservatives just can't trust liberal Julia Letlow. Louisiana Freedom Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. LouisianaFreedomFund.org.
Tune in every Wednesday at 12 noon to What's Growing New Orleans. Hosted by Angel Vanderpool, What's Growing New Orleans is a weekly conversation about developing and growing Black businesses throughout the region. Brought to you by the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce.
Interest rates and inflation are out of control. Is your credit card debt also out of control? It's time to resolve your debt and take back control for a lot less than what you owe. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, then you need to call us right now. Debt Fix Pros can significantly reduce the amount you owe, and you could be debt-free faster than you think.
I knew we had to do something. Our debt was growing.
It was getting out of control, and we just didn't know what to do.
We saw an ad for Debt Fix Pros. We called, and they showed us how fast they could get us out of debt.
It really was amazing, and now we're back in control.
Call now, and we'll show you how easy it is to fix your debt. The call and consultation are free. Call Debt Fix Pros right now at 800-311-5977. That's 800-311-5977. 800-311-5977.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. The number 504-582-9422. The lady in the building, y'all. It is the attorney extraordinaire. We are definitely glad that she's back with us again. Suzette Bagnaris. Woo, woo, woo. For all of you all that don't know, and I'm going to go ahead on and tell it anyway, this is going to be something, too, that I would tell you take down the number, 504-810-3995. And that is the office number for those of you that know somebody, because everybody knows somebody that worked in that office building, not your office building, but the office building on the West Bank Expressway. It is the DMV and the food stamp office on the West Bank Expressway in Harvey. That building has been classified, I'm not going to say classified, has been found to have asbestos in it. The phones are ringing off the hook with a number of people that have been working there that are telling us that they're hearing about it. But we want to make sure that you hear about it too, especially with us having FM and bleaming over on the West Bank. So our friends on the West Bank, you know somebody that worked in that office building, make sure they call the number 504-810-3995. If we're not there, leave a message so we'll call you back, because we will reach out and call you back. If you worked in that building, the DMV and the food stamp building on the West Bank Expressway, let us know, and we'll make sure that you get the information. All right? It's important. It is important. Your president has really, I think, lost his cotton picking mind, but that, a long time ago. But now he is criticizing the Olympic contestants, the ones that are going over there representing the country. He's gotten to the point where he is now calling one that says, hey, I don't know what I'm representing over here because I'm not liking the way things are going on in the United States. The president reached out when he heard that and reached out in the media and called this young man a loser. You are a loser, because he said that, because he just did not want to be a part of what was going on with these ICE raids. That's what he's talking about, ICE raids and probably everything going on with the Epstein files. Now, he's getting ready to respond. He said he's going to respond today. With all the stuff that's going on in the world today, why are you picking with the people that represent the United States and calling them losers?
These people train for years, sacrifice their childhoods, push their bodies past the limit, and represent the flag on the world stage. Now, let me just say very carefully, you can debate Olympic policies, eligibility rules, funding structures, selection politics. That's all fair game in a democracy. But when the president of the United States speaks broadly or dismissively about Olympic athletes themselves, that just hits a little different. He's claiming, I guess, that speaking ill of him is the same as speaking ill of America.
No, it's not.
And it's not the same thing.
No.
The both can be true, that we do not agree with how Trump is governing, but we can still be pro-America.
Yep.
Or American. So it's just really horrible. But I saw him get on his bully pulpit yesterday talking about other people, just regular citizens who happened to say something negative about him. He was talking about a guy who wrote some kind of song speaking ill of him on X last night and on Truth Social. And he was calling that guy a loser. And guess what happened? That man picked up 1 million followers because Trump talked about him negatively.
Good. Because I think that, and I mean, that's not just for him. I mean, that's anywhere. People talk about you negatively. Just as well as I do, being in this seat has consequences as well as congratulations. And those consequences, sometimes you get people that think that they're going to change you from being what you are, who you are, and what you said. And what they don't understand is the fact that when they start making fun of you or start saying stupid stuff about you, what really has gotten to me was the fact that your followers end up coming to me.
Right.
I got this stupid little boy. He used to work here. Stupid, just regular stupid. I don't even want to daggone classify him as a journalist because he's just a gossip column to me on Instagram and starts putting stupid stuff on his Instagram about me.
I saw that. I saw it.
Which I love.
And, the thing about it is, He did a piece talking about misinformation, the misinformation machine or whatever it was. But it was the day when we spoke truth to power and pointed out that Moreno was in D.C. and she was there based on a private donor paying for her being there.
Yeah, and it was
true. It was true. So maybe he needs to fact check himself. I mean, last week we exposed a lot of things that ended up getting picked up by other media.
Yep.
And it was 100% accurate. And I thought it funny that he would choose to say that was misinformation when clearly it had been confirmed by multiple news sources after we exposed it.
After we exposed it. And I think that, when those folks are usually running, thinking that somebody's following them for a reason, what's not being told is that those folks are being paid. You are not a news and you're not a journalist. You're not in that. You are a gossip column. You are a tabloid. You are hearsay. And then to come back and then talk about something else in media that's going on in this city and then say the way that you fix that is put some money into the, I think they were talking about Nord. I was like, what does Nord have to do with the city budget? I was like, you really don't understand what you're talking about. So
it was an interesting week. I mean, we uncovered a lot, and I think we stepped on a lot of toes and made some people uncomfortable. For you to get a bullying call all the way from D.C. telling you not to talk about Helena Moreno, by one of her communications people, I thought was really interesting, as if you were no longer going to report the news and be a journalist and talk about things that are happening in our community because somebody gave you a phone call.
Is this Gerod?
And they called the right number because they blocked on my phone. They couldn't have gotten through my phone.
You got my phone number in your phone. You just keep saying my name so that the people that's standing around you will be able to hear that I answer the phone when you call.
Well, you've been blocked. You're going to continue to be blocked. And even if you weren't blocked, we wouldn't be rocked.
I am what you disappointed in? You need to be disappointed in yourself. Need I go further?
Well, they can call all they want. We're
what you say about that? What you say about that? Let me tell you how she say it. Block, 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 block. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to be nice. Block, 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 block.
I'm just going to keep moving on. So in other news,
block, 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 block.
In other news, talking about people, we're talking about the table. We're talking about who gets invited to the table. We're talking about who gets excluded from the table, right or wrong, in efforts to exclude certain segments of the population. So let's talk about that. Maryland Governor Wes Moore, the only black governor in America, was uninvited from a traditionally bipartisan White House governor's dinner. Now, historically, this dinner isn't just about food. It's about federal and state relationships. It's about access. It's about who is in the room when decisions get shaped.
Right.
And this year, that room got smaller and more partisan. Let's be clear. Constitutionally, legally, and technically, the president can invite whoever he wants to invite to dinner. But politically, symbolism matters because this just wasn't a social dinner. This has historically been one of the few places where red states and blue states sat down in the same room at the same table and talked about governing. So here's where it gets deeper. When you start deciding who gets invited, who gets access, who gets proximity to power, and you exclude the only black governor in the country,
right?
I think that doubles down on your Michelle Obama, Barack Obama monkey mean.
Yeah.
I think it doubles down on how you are writing policy that's anti-Black American. You're erasing DEI. You're erasing Black history. And now you're erasing the Black governor from the table.
So one of the things, too, that I'll add to that is that they can say what they want to about Biden. But when Biden did the same thing, Biden put together infrastructure bill that was put together with billions of dollars, and those billions of dollars that went into that bill were monies that went to all the states. Even here, you would see just going up and down the highway in many of those states that out of the blue, just construction on roads. You know, you would see that in Mississippi, you would see that in Alabama. You would see that in Florida. You would see that all this money went into fixing infrastructure, not only the roads, the bridges as well. It even came to Louisiana, and just to prove what I'm saying, we made a big stink about it because one of the persons that tried to block it from not happening was Steve Scalise. Steve Scalise did not vote for it and did not want it. Said it was going to be a waste of money until the money passed, and when it passed, Steve Scalise went into that bill and took $21 million and gave it to his district to put together a new water plant over on the West Bank. I think that's Mandeville. I'm not certain.
No, on the North Shore.
On the North Shore.
Mm-hmm.
But you were one of the main folks that were talking bad about it, but yet you went into the bill to take the money. So that just lets you know that Biden, to me, didn't care on what part it was. It was the need of who and what states needed the money. That's where he started putting that money, because he said we needed to put people back to work again, and that money put more work more money into creating jobs at any other time, because we were low on jobs at that time. And then, of course, our number of jobs started going up again. So what this guy is doing makes me say, yeah, you're racist.
Look, when you exclude the only black governor in America and he ends up outside of the room, that's going to raise questions. And you can't say it's not about race.
Mm-hmm.
It was about race. It was about politics, and it's about party. The symbolism is right in your face. The only other person that he excluded was
Democrats.
The gay governor. There's a gay governor, outwardly gay governor in Colorado, and he was also excluded from the dinner. So he's making, his name is Gerod Polis. He's the Colorado governor, and he was also among those who were excluded. He's most notable as the first openly gay man elected governor in history. So, you know, he made a choice as to who he was going to lock out of the room.
But I wonder, though, I wonder, can Westmore and this governor file suit for discrimination on a federal issue? Because, I mean, this is a federal issue. This is not something that just happened in your back door.
Well,
this is a federal issue.
Also, as far as the LGBT plus community goes, he also took down the flag from the Stonewall Monument. He had it taken down.
Yeah, you can take that down.
Yeah, he had it taken down.
Yeah, you can take it down. that's not a violation of anybody's rights.
You know, I
By
think
his
he's
directive,
interfering.
He's being hateful and spiteful.
Well, he's also
Yeah.
directing those folks to take down the Black history that has happened in Philadelphia. So all the Philadelphia Black history where they had the portraits and all those things at the park, he's having them taken down too.
As we inch closer and closer to the midterms, you're going to see more and more ridiculous stuff.
That's good.
Throw up.
Let him take it off.
Distractions from the Epstein stuff.
Well,
Because he
it's
knows
all
he's
a
done.
distraction from the Epstein files.
Everything he does is a distraction. from
But the
that.
walls are closing in on him.
Yes.
With the Epstein
I
files.
can't wait till it slams shut on his butt.
You know, you are seeing more and more of the survivors go on national news media
And they ran-
talking about their experience and presenting pictures of them as children with Trump.
And they ran a television commercial during the Super Bowl. I was like, oh boy, somebody put that $8 million up, because that's how much it costs to run a commercial, 30-second commercial during the Super Bowl. It was $8 million. So, oh well, we got to take another break, y'all.
Yeah.
We'll take the break here. We'll come back, have some more conversation. Don't forget, telephone lines are wide open. 504-582-9422. Make sure you get it in.
On Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, here's a snippet of some of what we cover. GPS pioneer Gladys West.
We worked long hours computing trajectory orbits and satellite orbits, trying to get the data and everything correct enough.
Auto analyst Mark Bland.
14 new vehicle deals that happen in this country out of every 100 that women don't have a fingerprint on.
To tune in, check out Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, Saturdays at 4 p.m. on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
What if just $50 could open the door to your new home? Godan's is inviting you to enter their Key to Your Heart house raffle, where one ticket gives you a chance to win a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in the city of New Orleans. The drawing will happen on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Tickets must be purchased by February 12th at 11:59 p.m. Enter now at Raise, RAYZE.it/Key to Your Heart. The Ron Kelly Show. Real talk, bold truth. Tune in for your weekly dose of unapologetic conversations that don't dodge the truth or dilute the message. Stay informed on the issues that matter most on The Ron Kelly Show, every Monday at 7 p.m. on WBOK 1230 AM.
LifeCare provides valuable whole life insurance to cover final expenses such as medical bills, burial costs, and unpaid debt. A final expense insurance policy is fast, easy, affordable life insurance that's available to anyone between the ages of 50 and 80. No medical exams, no lengthy questionnaires, and no waiting period. The application process is quick and easy. You can even apply without having to undergo a medical examination. Just answer a few questions and we'll do the rest. With the average funeral cost skyrocketing to $11,000 and Social Security only paying $255, you need simple, affordable peace of mind for you and your whole family. Don't leave behind unpaid expenses that, if left unattended, will burden your family tremendously. Benefits include a guaranteed premium that will never increase, a guaranteed cash value, and a guaranteed death benefit that can never decrease. To find out how you can get final expense insurance with a guaranteed lifetime rate lock, call LifeCare at 800-571-9955. That's 800-571-9955. 800-571-9955.
Hey, Pontchartrain Park. Thanks for listening to WBOK.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. We've been living the day before. The day was, because today's Tuesday.
Right. We thought today was
We thought
Wednesday
today
all
was
day.
Wednesday, all day, all day.
It's just so much going on. I mean, you know, I was looking at the whole updates with the Epstein stuff. He can run, but he can't hide from it. Ghislaine Maxwell invoked the Fifth Amendment in a congressional deposition.
Like
She
4 or 5 times.
Yeah, she refused to answer questions about other possible participants, additional victims, network connections, and that's fueling more suspicion that Trump is involved and that more information exists. And then massive document release already underway, millions of pages released under the transparency law, including records, emails, photos, videos, investigative files. Still some redacted, and they're fighting to get them unredacted. And outside the U.S., though, the European political systems are already, seeing consequences, and they're already showing UK investigations tied to high-ranking officials in England that they say are tied to the Epstein files, and they're investigating that over there. So some powerful names are appearing in files, and people who are high-ranking officials in business, government, royal circles, and finance. So, Prince Andrew is facing a lot of renewed scrutiny.
And didn't he get removed from the castle?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot going on right now, and I think the walls are closing in on Trump, and this is maybe why some of this outlandish behavior is taking place. He's trying to divert our attention from what's really going on in Congress right now.
I just don't. I guess my believability that they're going to close the door and close in on him. I think there are going to be some that will. And then the others, I just think they're too scared and chicken.
It's going to eventually come out. I must say, let the man die, and I'm telling you, they're bringing it all out. They're gonna dirty his reputation in the grave, because it's gonna come out. It's definitely all gonna come out. It's just a matter of time.
You don't
and
think
he knows
he's
that.
dirty enough?
He is. I mean, but now his own people are starting to see it, and they can't deny it. That's the only difference. We've been saying it.
I was talking to my boy today, and he just used one of the terminologies I think that we've been using for many years, and that is white meat don't eat white meat.
But you're starting to see it. I see it a lot on Threads, on TikTok. I'm seeing more and more white people, particularly white women, who are coming out and basically saying we F8 and we FO'd, and now we realize we were wrong and we should not have fallen for the okie doke, because now we're afraid that, with the Save Marriage Act, they're going to lose their rights. It's already affecting credit scores for a lot of women. Banks are not lending to women anymore. At the same rate they were lending before. They're realizing now that the DEI initiatives benefited them, and now they're not getting the benefit of the DEI. So I think a lot of them are recognizing that MAGA was not a protective movement for them.
Not at all.
And they're starting to speak out about it. We tried to tell them. We tried to warn them. They didn't want to listen.
I saw an evangelical pastor on social media yesterday, middle-aged or older white man that had a mega church. And he basically came out in front of his whole congregation and told them, y'all, this got to be the worst man that we have ever seen in our lives that has been, and he kept saying we, put him in that office.
Well, there was a white man on CNN last night, or it might have been MSNBC, and he was saying the Republican Party used to blame the Democrats for being whiny and always complaining and always purporting to be a victim. But he said MAGA is the biggest victim and whining crowd that he has ever seen. And this was a white man saying it. He said, we are constantly complaining that people are taking a privilege from us. We're constantly complaining they're taking America from us. Now we're whining because we're saying they took the Super Bowl from us. They took the halftime from us. He's like, shut up. Stop trying to pretend like you're a victim in a country where you have persecuted, prosecuted, and enslaved people, where you have stolen their land. Stop pretending to be a victim.
And the other part about the Super Bowl is that alternative show. They lip sync half of that. Kid Rock lip synced it.
Who was
You saw what I
watching it?
sent to you, huh?
Huh?
Look at your Facebook
Yeah, I
page.
saw it.
You know, Erica Kirk promoted it, and she didn't even show up for it. You know, the Turning Point USA girl, she promoted it and didn't even show up for the halftime show.
It was terrible.
And then here's the thing. Here's the irony of the halftime show, the Turning Point USA halftime show. You want to claim to have these Christian values and morals, and so you're going to do your own halftime show. Kid Rock has lyrics about being a pedophile, about liking girls extremely young.
Right. And said it
That's
all,
the lyrics
and
in his song.
That's one of the things that Pastor was saying. He was like, all the folks that you all are talking about, this is the Christian way to go. The lyrics in those songs that y'all are telling me that are supposedly the alternative, we would not want to repeat some of the things that he says in his songs. And why are you all calling this Christian-like?
Hey, there was nothing Christian-like about the show. You know, some Kid Rock songs, especially early in his career, had party rock lifestyle themes, sexual bravado themes, shock value and provocative language.
And they were talking about look at the what did I think that was Christy Nome that said, look at those hookers, those whores.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
On the Bad Bunny, those Latino hoes.
Exactly.
Or whatever it was.
Oh, she had a
as
horrible...
they were gyrating and look at the kids, how they looking, da 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 da. I'm like, no.
Oh, it was horrible what she had to say. You know, it was just hate on display. Laura Loomer, that's
Laura
who you're
Loomer,
thinking about.
yeah.
This was what she posted on X. Illegal aliens and Latin hookers twerking at the Super Bowl. Not a single white person or English translation at the Super Bowl. This isn't white enough for me. Can't even watch a Super Bowl anymore because immigrants have literally ruined everything.
I mean, I don't know how more racist you got to prove to be.
Oh, that was just horrible. I mean, you know, it's just like they're not okay. They're not okay. They're losing it between, you know, Bad Bunny and the whole Latino vibe at halftime and Coco Jones singing the Black National Anthem. MAGA lost it during the Super Bowl.
I thought one would lose it, but I'm surprised. I really am surprised that she did not. And that is Candace Owens. She didn't lose it.
She's trying to get her black card back.
She's working hard trying to get that black card back, but guess what? I got it in the safe, and I'm not giving it back to her. She's not getting
her
it
black
back.
card is right there with Nicki Minaj's gold card.
Exactly.
They got a story out on her today saying Candace Owens trashes the MAGA-friendly Kid, the Kid Rock Super Bowl halftime show, and it's not pretty. So let me give you the gist of this.
Do tell.
While Turning Point USA has been boasting about the millions of viewers its halftime show attracted Sunday night, Candace Owens is calling them out for that claim and saying that the organization is scamming its viewers. Let's get into it. As we reported, TPUSA has been teasing its MAGA family Super Bowl halftime show for months, and Sunday night it finally happened, with performers such as Brantley Gilbert, Lee Brice, Kid Rock, along with multiple dedications to Charlie Kirk. Turning Point USA brought out all the MAGA stops. If you want a full rundown of the show, you can read it there. So, at its peak, the halftime show attracted 6.1 million people, according to The Root. After the show ended, Kirk's widow and CEO of Turning Point USA, Erica, got on X to thank the millions who tuned in and exclaimed that her husband would have loved it. The Turning Point USA All-American Halftime Show was so incredible, Charlie would have absolutely loved it. Thank you to the millions that tuned in. I'm so proud of the entire team, staff, and artists who believed in the vision and mission that she posted.
I'll tell you what, I want their head to continue to pop off. Next year, I think it needs to be a K-pop group, an all-Korean group, or it needs to be an LGBTQ group. That's who needs to perform next year. They need to have a whole drag queen segment at the halftime. Let's let their head completely pop off next year.
We'll get Diddy to do it next year. All right, y'all, we got more coming up in just a few minutes. Right now, it's news time right here. Yeah. Huh? What?
Got me on that one.
I thought you'd enjoy that one. News is next.
From the campus of Xavier University, WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. A West Suburban St. Charles daycare worker in Illinois is accused of giving chewable laxatives to children 2 and under. One mother is speaking out.
We found out from the director that she had fired her employee because she allegedly was giving them these laxatives and saying that it was candy so that they could get sent home because she was overwhelmed.
Police say 23-year-old Giselle Juarez is charged with attempted aggravated battery and child endangerment. A month-long nurses' strike in New York City may be nearing an end as the union and 3 hospitals say they're moving closer to a deal, but both sides remain divided over pay raises for the 15,000 nurses who've been off the job since early January. And the thriller Send Help topped the weekend box office with $10 million in its second week. Solo Mio followed up second with over $7 million, while indie horror Iron Lung followed with $6 million. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. It is the Baby Oil Show.
Saber, you going to stop?
It is not.
You're going to stop.
It is not.
You don't want to do the Baby Oil?
It is not.
That's your costume from Mardi Gras?
I'm going to do the Baby Oil Show.
You going to come out in baby oil in a diaper?
You better take that show to Gallia Hall. Don't take that to Gerod Gallia Hall.
We're going to shine, baby. We're going to be shining.
You know,
yes, Lord.
The sun's going to beam off of me, and boy's going to blind some people. And I'm just going to look at them and say,
I don't think that's what's going to blind the people.
I'm going to be like, take that.
I don't think that is what's going to cause the blindness.
That's
Blindness will occur, but that's not what's going to cause it.
Okay, let's get back to reality because I can't send you guys to break right now.
No. I just want to say that Coco Jones even tweeted about the enormity of the moment, singing the Black National Anthem. She tweeted, yesterday was heavy. The world is heavy. I felt the heartbreak of it all and the obligation to stand in that moment as a vessel of hope. The only thing more powerful than hate is love.
And that seemed to be
what
the
a
theme.
Statement.
That seemed to be the theme of the entire halftime show and all the other performances as well.
What a statement, And I tell you who's having a ball watching all the MAGA people's head pop off, Jamel Hill. Jamel Hill is tweeting every minute, talking about everything the people are saying. She's retweeting it. She's laughing at it. She's saying, I'm having a ball watching their heads pop off right now. She's having a ball. So, I look, there is a lot of irony in watching them get so upset. I mean, we've been watching the Super Bowl now all our lives, and up until recently,
we haven't seen people
all
that
white
look like
shows.
Us. Right.
It was, it was catering to their audience.
Right.
So it was nice to see something different.
And I think one of the first black people that we really saw do the halftime show at the Super Bowl was Michael Jackson.
Absolutely.
And those that remember, I think this was one of the best ones at the Super Bowl halftime show is when Prince did it and it rained and he stood right there and did Purple Rain.
Absolutely.
In the middle of the rain.
Iconic shows.
Yep.
But they don't appreciate that either, I guess.
All right, Galloway.
Yo, daylight come, man. I wanna go home. What's going on, Brother Gerard?
What's going on with you, Pablo?
Hey, I'm practicing my calypso. Yeah. Y'all ain't the only one getting ready to have fun. I tell you, I'm getting ready to go to Trinidad. Yes, indeed. I got me some binos, too. So I get to look from a bird's eye view.
Yes,
I ain't got to go up that far. But y'all forgot to mention something about the city. The National Guard member that lost his weapon. Didn't I tell you yesterday that the National Guard was the bad news bears of the military. Now, this man left a fully loaded
AR-15.
M4. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was an M4. Left it in the bathroom. Now, you got to do better than that. In the French Quarter, you know how lucky that young man is that somebody didn't take that thing and sell it?
Yep.
Or use it?
Or use it.
Or use it. That would have been worse. Use it on the crowd.
Yes. Man, do better with them people, man. But you was talking about the halftime show. You know, the NFL was going up against In Living Color, and In Living Color was killing them in viewership.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to find somebody to take away from In Living Color, and that's how Michael Jackson's name came up. If it wasn't for Michael Jackson, we probably still be watching In Living Color right now. You know, you got Michael Jackson, you had Prince, you had Beyonce, Kendrick Lamar. Those halftime shows are probably going to go down as an all-time. Rihanna also, all-time greats. The West Coast thing was pretty good. But my whole thing is the people that's upset that it was in a different language. These are the same people who will go watch an opera and don't know a lick of Latin or a lick of Italian and give that man a standing ovation because he's doing the opera. Get outside of whatever bubble you're in and go experience another culture.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to countries all across the world, including several in Africa. And like them people always tell me, you want to find an American? You want to find an American somewhere? They only speak one language. You know, the Africans in just about every country speak at least 5 different languages fluently. And here it is, you got Americans swear up and down. Everything got to be in English, and they don't know the difference between T-H-E-I-R and T-H-E-R-E. But you want to tell somebody you know something in English. Man, chill out with that stuff, man. I thought Bad Bunny was pretty good. Now, I didn't know who he was until they said he was performing from the Super Bowl, but I understood the message that he was trying to send through the audience. And what I don't understand what America is, because every time they say we're the best country in the world, we have the most culture, this and that, and then come to find out their culture exists of hamburgers and hot dogs. Because you know they can't cook anything. So I don't know what's wrong with these people, man, but I enjoyed all that stuff, man.
There were two things, Galloway, one of which was the fact that I don't think it was considered on the wide diversity of people that we have. And the fact that, you know, that Puerto Rico is a part of the United States. That's number one. Then number two, the decision to have Bad Bunny there was also a marketing decision. And the reason why is because, you know, if you listen and if people would listen and go back and replay it, you would hear the announcer say that this halftime show is being brought to you by Apple.
Right.
Because they were doing their marketing for their brand new earphones, their earbuds. The earbuds that they're now getting ready to market are also those that will translate from English to Spanish and from Spanish to English, depending on what you want. That's their brand new tool. So it was a smart decision to say, okay, cool, let's get somebody that speaks Spanish, and maybe somebody will buy our earbuds so they'll know what we're saying.
Well, that's how the show was promoted. They were trying to get you to buy the earbuds before the halftime show.
I bet you Jerry Jones didn't say a word. You know why? Every Dallas Cowboys home football game, you have buses. And I ain't talking 1 or 2. I'm talking 5 to 10 buses from Mexico going to Dallas just for that game. So you're right. They are tapping into the Latin Hispanic football fans. You got a lot of Cowboy fans, and then, of course, in California, you got a lot of Raiders fans that goes to Vegas. So that market is wide open. They ain't crazy. And Mr. Z, he said it right. The NFL is about $1.
They see it as a way to grow. They see it as a segment of the population that they can capture.
You got football games going to be all the way in Australia. You've had football games in Brazil. They're trying to get a football game even in Ghana. So the NFL is trying to expand. So all these people that's sitting around waiting on Garth Brooks to come give you a NFL halftime, hell gonna freeze up before you get that one. Y'all bet on coming to New Orleans and try to find you some red beans on a Saturday night somewhere before that stuff is coming back. Get over it.
I mean, but look what the world is saying about all these different artists that we're talking about. It's just, you know, days before that the man had just won a Grammy. Same thing with Kendrick Lamar, who performed last year. He won several Grammys. I mean, and those folks are showing you that they're the best of the best. And when they got over 135 to 140 million streams, nobody's topping that.
No, you're not going to top stuff like that. And these, those folks want those pedophiles like Kid Rock and all that stuff to take over a halftime show so they can sit there and pour a beer on their head and take their shirt off and just act like pure rednecks.
But
it's not happening anymore.
Everybody that looked at that has come back and said he was lip syncing. He was not singing.
See? And what do you get out of listening to Kid Rock anyway? Nothing. Man, come on, man. Folks, you got to get out of this country. Just go. If you go 3 or 4 days to the Caribbean, to Mexico, just go somewhere else different. You can understand culture. Trust me. These people will try to speak English to you, or if not, they'll try to help you speak Spanish or whatever language, French, German. It don't matter. But as long as you stay in that closed-minded bubble and you don't go outside of your parish or your county or your state, you're going to be like that, and you're going to make yourself look crazy. Because once you press in on that
Galloway,
internet,
this goes back to our beginning of our show when we started talking about, the life that we're in right now. Everything is so heavy. And one of the comments that I made was, it seems to start from the top down. And it seems always that the man that we call the uniter of the United States is the one that's the most divisive. He kicks this crap off.
Look, Donald Trump has made his fortune and wealth off being a racist, divisive, and if you're not kissing up to him, he don't want you to be around him. I told people, y'all was talking about Westmore earlier. He did that to let his base know, hey, listen, I still control them. I'm telling you that's why he did that. But that black man, I don't care what he is. He can't come see me unless he bow down and kiss the ring. And it's not going to happen with somebody like Westmore. It's called the Trump Crow era. Just like Jim Crow, it's Trump Crow. You talk about the stuff that he's taking down in Pennsylvania, about the enslaved people that George Washington owned. He's really taking it down because, George Washington chased a female black slave that he owned. He never caught that woman. And that was one of the things that was depicted up there, how he chased that woman and he never caught her. They don't want people to know the real history. I keep telling folks, George Washington's mouth was full of enslaved African people. Think about that for a minute. So they want, but we gonna make it through this. But when he's gone, or when he's getting ready to go, what those Epstein files are going to reveal is how this pedophile ring was probably one of the largest in the world since the Atlantic slave trade. I'm telling you, anytime you have the picture person, the one that do all the school children pictures, that CEO was in that file. Think about how many millions of photos that Jeffrey Epstein had, him and that Maxwell lady. So, and it just ain't going to stop with them just saying, oh, he's going to give her a pardon or she's not going to say anything about him. These are some evil, wicked people.
Now, she pleaded at least, 4 or 5 times the 5th when they tried to question her on either today or yesterday. She pleaded the 5th. And she's saying, well, her attorney is saying, look, that this is ass backwards because of the fact that you're supposed to have asked these questions before I get sentenced. Ask these questions then. But why are you asking me these questions now and not providing any type of favor for me? I think that she's already in a favor because she's at a minimum security prison instead of a maximum security prison. And why was she moved over there in the first place if she's not providing any information, any help to the federal government toward this? I think that that's hush payment for her.
Brother Gerard, you talk about that prison she in. That's not a prison. That's a sorority house.
Yep.
You have Wi-Fi down there. You have yoga classes. You have Starbucks, a coffee place up in there. The gate is not even 6 feet tall. She actually have a dog training classes. Those folks, when you talk about Club Fed, it's worse than Club Fed. There's really, well, none of the guards have armed in a prison, but those guards barely even wear uniforms down there. This was all for her to sit there and say, I know everything, but I'm not going to say nothing. Now I'm in a place, and I just think he's setting it up for whenever he decides to leave to give her a party. But we got to get out in these midterms, and we got to vote. Not like this past weekend when we had winners only winning by 2,000 votes. That was pretty ridiculous. That just if you got to quadruple that in every election. I don't care what it is. Get your behind out and vote. Take your friends and family with you. We need supermajorities. I'm talking in the House and Senate. That way you can't sit there and have to go through all this filibuster and all this other stuff. But if you don't get off your behind and vote, these people going to continue to run interference. All these names that were starting to come out, what was the one that came out today? The billionaire CEO for Bath Body and Works? This man is 88 years of age. And he has been messing around with young kids for probably about 30 years of his life. And his name finally came out today. And I'm like, bruh, these are some evil, wicked people. I don't understand what a grown man is doing, even thinking about looking at a 14-year-old child. But that's the type of people that folks are afraid to speak out against. Why redact his name? Why did we have to wait months and Sundays to see this guy's name? Who else's name is up in there? Because when it all comes said and done, Donald Trump, 38,000 times, that's not even, I don't even think that's a fraction of how many times his name is in those files.
Probably not.
I would probably go to say 1 million. You got to remember, these dudes were best friends for 20 years. He went to Mar-a-Lago, and Trump say he didn't go to that island. I don't believe nothing that man say. If I'm on your private jet, you let me use your jet for all these years, I done been to your house. I done been to your island, man.
Do you think that what's his name with Tesla? You think he went?
Oh, Elon? No, they didn't like Elon. They told him he couldn't go. You got to look at him. He begged to go out there. They told him to go find his own little cheers. No, they would not let him go. They don't like that dude for some reason. And I don't think Donald Trump even liked him. So that's why he actually said Trump's name was in the Epstein file, because they don't like each other. That's just my opinion. So, if some other folks' names up in there, like that, what Bill Gates was doing, I've been telling folks about Bill Gates for decades. That they're coming too much money too easily. And I don't know how you can keep getting these loans to start up this business, this and that and third. I say, man, I couldn't go get $100 from the bank. And then dudes, most of them are college dropouts and all this other stuff. But, I understand the complexion for the protection and the privilege. But these dudes made their way up to power. And when they got to power, they started messing with children. But
I guess, though, Galloway, my question would be, if somebody is naming you in a file, and maybe this is just me, maybe my common sense ain't so common, but I'm looking around and saying to myself, if somebody named me 38,000 times in a file, what should that tell you, number one? Number two is the fact that even if you didn't do nothing, it's just the fact that you're in this nasty man's conversation pieces altogether. Why are you hanging with him? Because they always taught me, this is what my mama told me. My mama told me that birds of a feather flock together.
You know why he continues to hang with him? You got to remember, Epstein kept great records, great surveillance, and great videos. They hung with that man and probably paid that man to keep their name quiet until it got so big that somebody had to start singing. Now, Trump, he just really don't care about what, he know his followers are just that dumb. Yes, Trumpers, if you voted for that man, you're just that dumb. Listen, them folks thought that Donald Trump was going to make them rich. And you see what's happening. Farmers, bankruptcy. The people, folks on SNAP losing their benefits.
Right.
All that stuff that they thought that was going to hurt somebody else, he's hurting them. Now they don't know where to turn. And to go back to Epstein, they hung together because they are just like each other. What did he say? I kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago because he stole one of my girls.
Right.
He didn't say women. He said girls.
Right. But I think he was talking about him. I'm hoping that he was talking about his employees. That's what I thought he was talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about employees, the ones that work on Bourbon Street that hang around on them corners around Conti and all them other little side streets. They're my girls too. Whatever, or the ones on Chef. Man, get out of here. We know exactly who he was talking about. Yep.
You talking about them them girls that they was making do stuff. That's what he was doing, man. But I ain't gonna hold y'all up, man. I'm gonna call in tomorrow. Then I'm wheels up.
All right, big brother.
Daylight come, man. They wanna go on. Y'all way up out of here.
All right, man. I talked to you, Lady Galloway. Yes, indeed. All right, let's take a break. Let's take the break here. We'll take the break first. We'll come back. And then I got something special I want you all to hear. When this man is telling you that he's the greatest thing to help black people ever. We'll break it down for you, everybody. Hold on. More coming up in just a minute.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. Lion Forge Entertainment is an Academy Award-winning black-owned film studio that focuses on diverse stories. The company is working on several new projects aimed at younger audiences, and Lion Forge founder and CEO David Stewart II says you might be surprised where he's seeing opportunities with Gen Z.
In some ways, some of this stuff is actually kind of coming full circle. I was just circulating with our team some articles that have just come out around Gen Z going back to the movies, and that's their new interest point right now. So yes, YouTube is growing, and a lot of eyeballs are going there to kind of find content, but you know they want to go to the movies because they want this unique experience that they haven't really had. You know, because they've had the screens in front of them all the time. They've had that on-demand content. So, you know, it's interesting how things are kind of coming full circle.
Lion Forge Entertainment won its Oscar for short film Hair Love, a story about a black father learning to style his daughter's hair for the first time. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Time is valuable. That's why Lowe's Blueprint Takeoffs turn blueprints into quotes faster. Bring us your plans, and we'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting easier so you can get back to building. Plus, at the Lowe's Pro Desk, you get access to thousands of building materials not sold in store. And when your order's ready, we'll deliver everything to the job site. Improving is easy at Lowe's.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Hey, this is D. Riley from the 90s Hits R&B Jams. Make sure you listen to WBOK 1230 AM every Saturday night from 7 until 9 p.m. I'll be giving you the best R&B jams from the 90s. That's right, all your favorites and more. With me, D. Riley, your host of the 90s Hits, right here on WBOK 1230 AM, or listen online at WBOK1230.com. WBOK, the station you listen to longer.
Welcome to Chemical of the Month from the Community Scientist and Rise St. James. This month's focus is polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, or PAHs, formed when fuels like oil, gas, wood, or trash are burned. These chemicals can enter the air we breathe and settle into our soil and water. Many PAHs are known carcinogens, adding to the health burdens faced by communities living near industry. Learn how to protect your health at risestjames.org.
Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and Louisiana's Julia Letlow. What do they have in common? Liberal Julia Letlow voted with Joe Biden more than any other Louisiana Republican in the U.S. House. And just like Nancy Pelosi, Letlow has traded hundreds of stocks while serving in Congress. Worse, Letlow violated federal insider trading laws by failing to report her shady stock trades, potentially millions of dollars worth. But that's not all. Before she went to Congress, liberal Julia Letlow was a university bureaucrat. She instituted radical DEI policies, woke sensitivity training, and the university put up a public art display honoring defund the police activists. Is that what Louisiana wants in the U.S. Senate? Conservatives just can't trust liberal Julia Letlow. Louisiana Freedom Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. LouisianaFreedomFund.org.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton. Losing a loved one is tough enough. Do you really want your family dealing with court battles and paperwork on top of it?
Whether you choose a will or a trust, think ahead. Take care of your family. Let them focus on healing instead of headaches. This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
Well, he did it again. Donald Trump posted and then deleted a racist video depicting the Obamas as apes. He took it down after Black Republican Senator Tim Scott said the video was the most racist thing the White House has ever done. Now, Tim, you know damn well it's not true. Where were you when he sent federal troops to terrorize Black and brown communities? When he canceled $19 million in scholarships for HBCU students? When he tore down Black Lives Matter Plaza and put up a statue of a white Confederate general in Washington, D.C.? When he changed U.S. refugee policy to stop Black and brown people and then open the door for white South Africans? When he said that Somalis were garbage who contributed nothing to the U.S.? When he asked the U.S. Supreme Court to gut the Voting Rights Act? When he gutted the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division, when he suspended police reform agreements and deleted the federal police misconduct database, when he pardoned police officers convicted of killing Black people, when he ordered the National Park Service to take down a slavery exhibit in Philadelphia, when he removed an exhibit on Black veterans from a World War II cemetery in the Netherlands, when he erased Jackie Robinson and the Tuskegee Airmen from government websites, when he accused the National Museum of African American History and Culture of promoting an improper ideology, when he fired Black government officials and then replaced them with unqualified white loyalists, when he hired a staffer who said that MLK Day should be tossed into the seventh circle of hell, and another staffer who bragged that he was racist before it was cool, and a third staffer who said that competent white men must be in charge. And that's just from the past year. It doesn't include the racism of his first term in office, his 3 presidential campaigns, and his 50-year history of being sued for racial discrimination. So no, Tim Scott, this latest post is not the most racist thing he's done. I'm glad you finally spoke up, but the saddest thing is that it took you all these years to do so.
Yep. That's the point that I was making. Couldn't have said it better myself. When Tim Scott, and listen, I'm not trying to criticize Tim Scott for saying that's a racist post, but he said that had to be the most racist post and most racist thing that has come out of that White House. And I was saying to myself, you got to be kidding me there, boy. What is wrong with you? Now, if you would have just said that that's something racist, that's something racist too, that has come out of this White House, I would have been like, sure, you got that. But to say that that was the most racist thing that came out of this White House, where you been, brother? Where you been? And you better start thinking about you too, because you were sitting up there talking about I'm going to be a part of this administration and I'm going to be a part of his cabinet, and you went and got married to, the snowflake. Asked her to marry you. And I'm saying to myself, with him doing that kind of made me say, you're a sellout. A real sellout.
Well, Bad Bunny has broken his silence on Trump.
Oh, yes?
He said that on the Born in America Act.
Can't hear you.
He said on the Born in America Act, this isn't about protecting America, he said. It's about stripping the people of their dignity. This isn't America first, he said. This is America losing its values.
America losing its values?
Yeah, you losing its values. Washington has no values, none. You think Trump has values? The only thing he values is money in himself.
Yeah, and how rich he can make his family.
And you can't take that crap with you when they go, Trump.
I just don't understand. Not what's wrong with them. We already know. We got to start looking at and hearing the fact that, you know, if you show me who you are, I need to start believing it. And with that analogy, we would all start seeing who we are dealing with, no matter what race you are. Because it's apparent to me, if you just end up being a sacrifice, no matter what, who, or where.
See, the thing they're scared of the most is that America is turning brown. They're scared that they are the dying race. Nothing against white people or nothing like that, because I got a lot of friends that are white. I'm about talking about the racist ones.
You know, the word value, though, is interesting because they continue to say that they espouse American, quote unquote, values. Well, I think when they talk about American values, they're talking about the America where, you know, people of color were less than them, had less rights than them, were not treated right by them.
I'm sorry.
And they were in control.
I'm sorry. I was answering his question. He said, I got a lot of white friends. I said, yeah, 2 of them.
Oh, I thought he was telling me peace.
You got 2.
What are y'all talking about?
No, he made a speech and said,
yeah.
I'm not trying
but I
to
think
do
that
this,
they want to return
to,
to, you know, pre-Jim Crow, you know, to pre-civil rights movement America. I think they've made that very clear. That's what they consider to be American values.
This country was never born on that. It was never brought up on that. I don't care who says it. This country was never that way. You might look at it that way, but at some time, somebody has got to be able to say, all right, y'all right. They don't even include us in the building of this country.
Nope.
And remember, we built this country, even built the White House.
This country was built on our back.
This was enslaved people, enslaved men that built the White House. The contributions that we've given with all of these inventions, you know, you can't tell me that, oh, yeah, because I know Trump sat there and said, oh, we're this, we're that, we did this, we did that. I was like, okay, are you trying to include the fact that the majority of the things that you're talking about were built by black or invented by black people? No.
Like Mr. Harrell says, there's race in everything.
There is. That's a very true statement.
Yep.
You know, America's history is not one built on equality. It's always been based on race.
Conquer
race
and
and
divide.
Economics. Mm-hmm.
That's all that they know is conquer. Conquer, conquer, conquer. We have to have everything. Why?
I mean,
like I said, you can't take it with you when you go.
Because we've always been a country of colonialism. We've always been a country of colonialism. And we've always been a race. We've always seen a race of people. I ain't gonna say we've been the race, but we've always seen a race of people with colonialism as well. And that in itself should bother us. And then I've heard white people and some racist white people say recently that, you know, oh, black people should get together and, you know, they ought to have their own stuff by now and yada, 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 yada. And maybe if they put it together and they build it and have their own, they'd be better off. I was like, well, you know, let's not act like that has not happened in our lifetime. In our lifetime, because when we want to build and put our own things together, what happens? Every single time, white men get mad,
and
jealous,
tear it down.
And either tear it or burn it down. Mm-hmm. And it ends up being an excuse in several of those cases where it's all about a white woman. You know, somebody made some type of gesture to a white woman in the elevator. What did that do? That tore down Tulsa, Oklahoma. We saw what happened with Rosewood. We saw that. And the people, which are us, that end up getting the consequences of it, we had to go live in the swamps. If you go back and take a look at what happened when we were just getting tired here, do you know that Louisiana probably had more revolts, slave revolts, than any other state? And I think that we forget the fact that they were coming up the road right here from Laplace. And they got to Kenner, and they started cutting off the heads of those black men, putting them on poles, trying to make some type of I guess more so than anything else, trying to make the other ones look and say, this is going to happen to you. And all of those things that made you go, what are they revolting for? It was just the mistreatment of black people. We've always been mistreated.
But he's trying to reverse it again, though.
But I think that we're still being mistreated. We just put it in another form. And that other form that we're talking about is the fact that we've moved so much from just beating you down to environmental racism. Because if you look at all the different areas of all the way down the riverfront, you're going to see black areas where there are nothing but chemical plants that are going to put you in a position of you're going to get cancer, you're going to die, and you're not going to be able to live there.
But environmental racism is nothing new. I mean, we've been fighting that for decades,
None
right?
of it's new.
And institutional racism is nothing new. What's new is them outwardly saying now that the Civil Rights Act hurt white people, that white people were being treated very badly because of the Civil Rights era protections. And now they're trying to reverse all of those Civil Rights era protections under the guise of making America, quote unquote, great again. Well, America was great in their view when black people didn't have civil rights, when women did not have civil rights. So, I mean, that's why they're criticizing affirmative action and DEI and trying to erase all of that. They're opposed to civil rights itself if it doesn't benefit them only.
Yeah. Let's get the phones here. Brooklyn, what's happening, boy? What's going on with you, man?
Man, what's going on with you, baby? What's going on, G, man? You and your panel, man.
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm all right, and yourself, man. Look, I just wanted to call. I'm going to keep it real short, bro. Y'all having church up in there today, bro. Keep having church.
Church. Yes, indeed. A church up in here. So Brooklyn,
yes.
What you thinking, bro? Tell me what you're thinking, what you're hearing.
Man, I love what I'm hearing, Gerard, and I really do. I'm always loving hearing y'all speak the truth, man, and everything that y'all are saying is just the truth. It's the truth. What you thinking, bro?
I just think that we got to remember where we came from before we can get to where we're going. And some of us have so much learning to do of Black history, because all Black history ain't about what we've accomplished. Black history lets you know that some things in Black history we shouldn't be going back to, and it looks like some of us have jumped the broom and gone over there with them and get married to some of those folks just because they're in a position like a Tim Scott. Man, why are you over there with them folks when they ain't even treating you right?
Man, you know what it is, man? Me and my wife have this conversation all the time. It's like when our brothers and our sisters make it, what they call making it, it's kind of like they have to marry one of them to show I really made it now. I really made it. And you know, that's the bad part. That cuts down on, okay, if you did make it, that cuts down on a lot of generational wealth that we could build up, but by you marrying over there, that goes on their side. You know what I'm saying, Gerard? I mean, I'm not a racist, man. I just love my people, man. I love my people, and I'm not gonna lie. I do not like it when a brother or either one of our sisters end up with a Dorito nose. I'm just gonna tell it like it is, man, because I feel like we've worked so hard to be at the point that we're at now. And like you said, to regress instead of progress, dude, that's not right, Gerard, to me. It's not right.
There are 4 families that got together recently. They bought and I think they're in Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. They bought 97.5 acres of land to start building their own community. I wonder, will that succeed? Because every single time that we get together and do our own community, something happens where it either gets burnt down or it gets torn down.
That's right.
I remember, and I'm going to go back to my roots of North Carolina. I remember when a gentleman by the name of Floyd McKissick got together with other prominent lawyers and folks that lived in that area and said, let's get us some land. We're going to take a federal government loan, and what we're going to do is we're going to build a city. And that city would have folks that own their own homes. They had their own community centers. They had their own grocery stores. And that little city still stands today. That city is called Soul City, North Carolina. It is right outside of Henderson, North Carolina, and Norlina, North Carolina, right off of I-85. And I can remember just to see how the happiness of people that, they were building there. I mean, this was an area that was promising. It was brand new homes and everything. But since that time, this was I think this was right after Nixon. I think this was after Nixon. But right after that, it died.
Well, I think we might be reverting back to that. So are we ready for that challenge? Because I think there's a new town in Alabama that they've just said is now an all-white town. They're making it an all-white town. They have an ordinance that says that.
They got one here.
Well, I'm just saying, I think that we may be reverting. If we keep Trump, if Trump stays in office, we're going back to days where we are segregated.
Listen, right outside of, and I think this is in this is in Mississippi. Right outside of Mississippi, what they have done is put legislation together so that you would have to be okayed by the city to live there if you're not white.
They're doing that in Alabama as well.
And they're actually trying to do it on the other side of Baton Rouge.
Wow.
And the other thing you have to do is they got their own police force. They have their own judges, and all of them are white. None of us are in there.
We were thriving when we were segregated. It may not be a bad deal.
I was about to say the same thing.
It may not be a bad deal,
We were better off.
Yeah.
Well, we were better off because we were forced, and I hate to say that, but we were forced to deal with one another.
And to support each other's businesses and to, exchange money with one another. I think that the difference between black people and white people, to a certain extent, is black people will work their fingers to the bone to become successful without trying to tear somebody else down, another race down in the process. We're focused on our success and our building, and that's all we're focused on. But white people a lot of white people seem to have the perspective that when they succeed, they only succeed when nobody else succeeds. They need to build their own families, their own communities, their own businesses, their own legacy to the detriment of everyone else. And I don't think we have that mindset in our community. We're happy to see other people succeed as long as we succeed too. But they don't want that. They think the only way they win is if everybody else loses.
There's enough to go around for everybody.
I totally agree on that. And I teach my kids, my wife and I, we always teach our kids. I think it was the worst thing that black people could have ever done was integrated with other people. Like y'all were saying, as long as we were segregated, we had to rely on each other, and it made it better that way. To me, it made it better that way. But once we started hopping across the fence to see what was on the other side, and the bad part about it is you can spend your money with them, and they'll still treat you like crap.
Right.
Why go where you're not wanted?
But look, brother, I did have another question for you. What's going on in Mississippi with your folks?
Man, look, I got them, Gerard. I'm just trying to get my certain people, but a town is so small. And I spoke to my auntie the other day, and she's willing to come on to speak, but she don't want to kind of use her name because it's a small town, but they are trying to get this man tried again.
Mm-hmm.
They are trying to get him tried because she told me, I think it was last week, that the mayor of Jackson came down to Liberty, and they held a big rally, man, and they had a lot of things clogged up in the little town where traffic couldn't move. One of my male cousins was out protesting as well. He's about 36. He was out there protesting as well. So I'm still trying to get them. She says she'll do the interview, but she wants to go under an alias, and I understand because it is a small little area. It's a very, very small area.
Well, that probably we have to talk about it because I went a little bit higher. I actually got my folks in national news that want to interview her, and they're gonna put on camera.
Okay, they want to put on camera.
Yeah,
okay.
that will be seen everywhere.
Okay, you know what I want to do, Gerard, if I can, and I know my uncle, my aunt's husband, actually knows the grandmother of Jordan.
I tell you what to do. Just put it together and let's have that meeting. Because I was waiting for you to call me back. I just wanted to know.
Okay.
But let's work on it because she is asking. But, all the stuff going on with Mardi Gras, we got to take care of this first and we'll get to that. Okay?
Gotcha.
I ain't forgot you. Don't think I forgot you.
Gotcha. All right, brother. Thanks
all right,
a
my
lot,
brother.
man. Y'all keep doing what y'all do, man.
We'll talk.
All right.
Talk to you later. All right, y'all. More coming up. Last break. Next.
AURN News.
The American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees is suing the Social Security Administration over how it allowed a Doge-affiliated team to access and handle millions of Americans' personal records. New court filings now reveal the federal government is admitting it gave judges false information under oath while defending that access. For months, SSA told courts that Doge team members only use Social Security data for fraud prevention and system upgrades. However, that was a lie. The government now acknowledges Social Security data may have been shared throughout unauthorized third-party servers, pulled through internal workspaces, even emailed to the Department of Homeland Security. And even more alarming is that a Doge team member signed a voter data agreement with a political advocacy group tied to efforts to change election results. Plaintiffs are now asking the judge to reopen discovery, saying they still don't know what personal data was shared, who has it, or whether it's been secured. For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
Late nights are made for chillin', and you can do just that every Sunday night at 10 p.m. as DJ Wick brings you The Love Zone. It's the perfect way to top off your weekend with your favorite old and new school ballads. So sit back, relax, and let DJ Wick take you to the Love Zone on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Saturday, February 14th, join WBOK for a special LCMC Health edition of Keeping You Well Cafe. Meet me, Kimber White Dupree, Endymion Saturday from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. outside the University Medical Center. I'll be broadcasting live in front of the parade route, and a special team of medical professionals will be stopping by, ready to give you tips to keep you healthy this carnival season. Don't miss this special edition of LCMC Health, Keeping You Well Cafe, and WBOK Broadcasting live on Saturday, February 14th from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. LCMC Health. Tomorrow starts here.
Hi, I'm Imani Godin, founder of Godans.
Go Dance is a nonprofit interdisciplinary dance organization rooted in New Orleans, providing access to dance education and sustainable, wellness-centered art practices. Right now, you can be a part of this work by participating in our Key to Your Heart house raffle. Our programs are open, inclusive, and community-centered, supporting artists, students, and creatives at every stage. Your involvement helps expand access, education, and opportunity for artists of all ages. To learn more and get involved, visit GoDance, GAUDANSE.org.
A careless driver can change your life in an instant. Do you know what to do or who to call? If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident and do not have an attorney, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free consultation. We can answer all of your questions and estimate the potential value of your case. Call Auto Accident Help Desk and connect with an expert personal injury attorney.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
Don't worry how to handle your medical bills, lost wages, and pain. We will get you the money you deserve.
They got me way more than the insurance company offered.
The consultation is free, and you do not pay any legal fees unless we win or settle your case. Make the smart call. If you've been injured in an auto accident, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free legal consultation.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
When you talk, we listen. WBOK. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks. Last few minutes here before we get ready to get out of here for a Tuesday, even though that we thought it was Wednesday.
I know. We've been wrong all day on the day of the week.
All day.
We that busy. That's what it is.
I do think that we're in a funk. I know you started off with it.
Well, I tried to start off on a positive note.
Right.
So I'm going to try to end on a positive note. You know, today we talked about power. We talked about the importance of having a seat at the table, and sometimes we get excluded from the table.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about our fear living in this global society we're in now, where every time you look on social media is something negative. We talked about our strong legacy and our strong history, though, for being able to overcome.
Right.
And we talked about the importance of rising up even when you get excluded, and building even in uncomfortable conditions.
Yep.
America's never moved in a straight line, and it's never been very inclusive to us. And we've had periods in history where we've had to fight to build our own seat at the table and to get our own seat at the table. So, people need to still continue to have faith and can still continue to keep building, keep loving, keep creating, keep leading, and keep believing that we have everything we need within ourselves to overcome the unfavorable conditions that we're facing in America today.
And don't let nobody tell you different if it does not go toward, if it's not gain for you, and you're doing the right thing, and these folks are trying to tell you differently, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. You got too much to lose. And trust me, when it go wrong and they know what's going wrong, you're going to end up being the fall guy.
Don't let anybody convince you that you can only succeed when there's perfect conditions. To live the life you were called to live, sometimes you have to build in uncomfortable conditions.
And I do think, now this is the controversial part of that conversation, and I do think it ain't just you doing what you need to do this. I do think that black folks have got to get another mindset to start helping one another. Because you all you got. I done seen that so many places the last couple of days. You all you got. And if you're not helping your other man, you part of the problem.
Absolutely.
Because you already know that you're considered more so crabs in a barrel, because once one get to the top, you want to take them down anyway. And we were even talking about that, but we were talking about it in the restaurant firms, that you go to these different stores or you go to these different restaurants, and when you go, you don't have nothing good in there. People talk to you crazy, but you still stand in line and wait.
Well, look, I'm going to have a personal, vulnerable moment here. I ended up texting G one night, like 11 o'clock at night, and saying, look, you are leaving the job with the sheriff's office and you need a new place to land. I need a paralegal right now. I need a marketing director right now in my firm. Why can't we help one another?
Yep.
Let's build together.
Yep.
And sometimes what you're looking for
it's sitting right under your
right
nose.
in front of your face, and you don't even realize it. And the last, week and a half that you've been at the firm, we have been rolling. And I told Gerard this morning.
Oh, don't give him.
Because when I tell you the phones are ringing off the hook and, business is coming from unexpected places. As a matter of fact, we even got a check we weren't expecting to come that was a miracle when it landed and blessed us both. And I have to say.
Hold on. Let me finish. Let me do this before you go.
God
Hallelujah.
won't bless
Hallelujah.
you. Yeah, God sometimes won't bless you unless you have alignment.
Should about a Hyundai, but about a Ford.
Time to go.
I was talking.
It's time to go.
Should about a Hyundai.
It's time to go.
But about a Ford.
He's acting a fool. It's time to go.
Show him on.
If we wait for him to act right, we'll never speak.
Y'all, that's going to wrap things up for us. We appreciate it. We don't forget to pay your tithes and offerings. We appreciate you very much. We will see y'all tomorrow, y'all. Y'all be good.